a lot of us come here to shift the conscious collective, and this is exactly what Uranus can represent in our charts. Peace, beloveds, and welcome back to my channel. I am very happy to be here with you. We're on another astrology video. Y'all, I have gained about 300 extra subscribers just from my Pluto and Lilith videos alone. Y'all love those two videos. These astrology videos are really important to me because it really gives us an indicator of how these planets move, especially in our own lives. Oh shit, foggy. Yo, my glass is fogging up. Hold up now. Hold up. Is this fan working or? Please excuse the fan if y'all can hear it. I can't live without it at this point. It is the best purchase of my life. My life. Get yourself a fan. And considering we are talking about an airy planet, today we are talking about Uranus. Uranus, which is perfect right after my Neptune video. I posted my Neptune video. It's Neptune through all of the houses. I have Jupiter through all the houses. I have Pluto through all the houses. I have Lilith through all the houses. There's going to be definitely more to come, but today Uranus wanted to speak to us and to allow us to remember exactly what Uranus's role is in our birth charts. So if you are new here, go ahead and like this video already and subscribe down below. Join the community, join the family. We are all remembering. This is all a divine remembrance, a divine inner knowing of how we are uniquely made and uniquely created. So you don't want to miss out when I post future videos. Today I'm drinking a chocolate banana cherry smoothie. 10 out of 10. Y'all gotta try it. The banana cherry combo goes crazy. Add some cacao. I also have some spearmint and rose tea. 10 out of 10. If you need help with your mental agility, remembering things, staying focused, staying clear and concise, mint tea is amazing. On my channel, I made a video about peppermint and it was like 20 minutes long. People love it. I would go check out that video too. It was really long ago, but it's still accurate for how mint can help us mentally. And considering we're talking about the planet of Uranus, this could be a lot of mental turbulence and a lot of things that come to our mind and that we're thinking of constantly. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be doing Uranus through all of the 12 houses, but of course first, I want to channel what messages Uranus may have for us at this time. So last night I actually tapped into Uranus, and this video I've been thinking about for a little bit, but it was only last night that Uranus actually came through and was like, okay, let's discuss this. Let's really dive deep into what the planetary energy of Uranus is bringing our specific generation, because we do need to remember that Uranus and Neptune and Pluto, they are generational planets, and the generational planets have a really big impact. Even though astrologers would say like it's a less of an impact, I feel that it's actually more of an impact, considering a lot of us are starseeds, a lot of us are from other planets, a lot of us come here to shift the conscious collective, and this is exactly what Uranus can represent in our charts. Okay, so first off, Uranus is actually very close buddies with Saturn, right? So Uranus and Saturn, this idea came to me. It wasn't really an idea, but you know, all of our ideas come from spirit. So basically, I recognize that Saturn is the order and then Uranus is the chaos, but you need both in order to create an evolved collective. You need that mix of order and chaos in order to grow, in order to build, in order to manifest different realities and timelines for yourself. These generational planets are creating generational shifts. And this is so key. This is so important because if you think about it from the view of just like a millennial, me as a millennial, it's like my parents, they want me to kind of go the same route that they went. But why would I want to go the same route? Aren't we supposed to be doing different things each generation? Aren't we supposed to be up-leveling and moving on with each generation? It feels like we specifically were brought here as children of light, as light workers, to move that along because our parents didn't really get to experience that shift. And we have to be the shift that moves things forward for humanity. Because if we continue down the path that they went down, then it will be more destruction, more chaos, and a lot more of a lower vibrational way of being. You notice that, the way that we're living right now is kind of low vibrational, but we have this mindset that things can change, things can be different if we kind of disrupt the natural order of things. And that's what Uranus is. It's a rebellious energy that is actually helping us to sidestep and to pivot and to shift into a new way of being and into a new consciousness. Uranus is an extremely important planet to pay attention to in your chart because it's showing how you uniquely bring that into the conscious collective, how you are uniquely rebellious in your ways, how you can show up for your peers in society in your own unique way to up-level and to evolve us as a species. No pressure. No pressure. So I know a lot of people talk about Uranus and it's like, oh, quick changes, really fast. And I see Uranus as the energy of electricity. But sometimes I feel that Uranus, especially in our charts and especially because it moves so slowly, it's a generational planet, it's actually causing more lasting change rather than just quick, rapid change that, kind of goes like lightning, but more like a change that will leave a lasting imprint like lightning. Like lightning brings down fire, and the fire can get forest fires started. The fire leaves a print. The fire leaves an everlasting imprint, and it doesn't go away. You know where lightning struck. Uranus is more like a constant, consistent uprooting of what is no longer working in your life, what is no longer in alignment with your soul's purpose, what is no longer in alignment with the collective consciousness. When we feel goosebumps, I just felt them right now. When we get those feelings of like, ooh, that resonated with me, ooh, that was a synchronicity, that's literally Uranus's energy coming through us in electrical pulses to solidify and to validate that what you're hearing, what you're seeing, what you're receiving in that moment is actually in line with your soul's purpose, is actually in line with what you needed to hear. And I just love when people say like, oh, I felt that. Like, yeah, it's a feeling. It's that electricity pulsing through you to let you know that you are on the right track. The collective energy is always changing, but the planet of Uranus brings in that constant shifting, that questioning, like, why is it like this? Can we do something different? Let's innovate, let's plan, let's collaborate, let's think about this in a different way, as opposed to, Saturn, which is just so stuck and structured, like, this is how it is. And that's, you can think about your parents, your grandparents, they're very Saturnian, whereas I feel like the people coming in now and like our generation, we are more Uranian. We are more Uranian because we're open to receiving more insight and divine light and divine information that can move the collective society as a humanity along better. When you finally realize how Uranus moves in your life, you just need to breathe and allow the changes to come, because these changes are going to be more significant in your life than just like small changes. These changes that Uranus brings are going to be significant in your life's path, in your life's purpose, because your life's purpose is connected to the collective web of everybody in the world, to the collective web of the starseeds, of the people of light, of the different galactic energies. It's not just you. It's you and your mission are here for a reason. It's you and your mission have something important to do. So if you feel like you're not important, I would recommend looking at your Uranus sign and what house it's in, the aspects that Uranus has, the degree. Like, dive into Uranus so that you can feel and recognize how important you are in the collective web. One of my favorite movies is The Prince of Egypt, and I'm not religious or anything like that, but the music, 10 out of, like, 1,000 out of 10, okay? That movie, that soundtrack, everything about that movie was just so powerful, and I'm grateful that I got to grow up watching that movie. My mom played it over and over, but one of my favorite songs was Look Through Heaven's Eyes, and I just listened to it literally yesterday. But the song is all about how it's not important how man sees you, it's important how God sees you. It's important how spirit is guiding you in this particular life, and it's not about being judged by other humans, being ridiculed, picked apart, listening to their criticisms. It's not about that. You need to realize that if you look through heaven's eyes, if you look through the eyes of God, you are here for a purpose. You're here for a reason. Your mission is yours alone, but your mission is a very important quest in the whole of the collective. And that is what Uranus can represent in your birth chart. Now, I have learned personally, because I have Uranus in the first house, that a lot of divine ideas can come to me very quickly. And it's not always like that in the other houses, but Uranus truly does give you ideas. Like, when you just get an idea, that's Uranus coming in like electricity, and you can't stop thinking about it. You can't stop thinking about it. And you pressure yourself a little bit, which is fine. You can pressure yourself a little bit, but Uranus wants you to know that just because that idea came in, it doesn't mean that you have to act on it right now, right away, but you do need to act on it at some point in your life. And if it doesn't feel right to act on it right away, then there will be a divine timing where it just comes back into your mind. You're like, oh yeah, I feel like I could work on that now. Like, I feel like I want to do that now. That's Uranus's energy. It's ideas that come through to you, and they're uniquely for you to bring out, you know? Not, I was listening to a reading last night from The Energy. I love her. I'm definitely part of that soul tribe. And the last thing she said was like, you know, not everybody cares about flowers, and you might. And I was just like shook, because I'm like, yeah, I actually really, really care about flowers and plants, and like I'm studying them, and I'm doing a lot behind the scenes, a lot of work that spirit has asked me to do specifically. And every time I feel like, oh, it's oversaturated, I have to remember that it's my own unique way. This is the way I'm doing it, in my body, in my mind, in my time, in my creativeness. All of these things are uniquely for me. Jessica down the road can't do it like me. She can't. It's only me who can do it like me. So that's why spirit chose me and put that idea in me. They planted a seed within me because they knew that I had the blueprint in order to grow that idea into the reality, into existence, the way that it needed to be. I'm just saying. You're special. I'm special. We're special in our own unique ways, and we all fit together perfectly to create this beautiful web. Cheers to that. Last thing is, you know, this, again, I want to go back to the kind of relationship that Uranus and Saturn kind of have, and we have to understand and respect time. Time is moving for us. It's not against us. We're never running out of time. Time brings things to us. Time allows us to let go of things. Time is our greatest companion. And when you're working with Saturn and Uranus in this way, your divine ideas will come to fruition at the perfect time, in the perfect moments, in the most beautiful flow. You don't need to feel rushed. You don't need to feel pressured. It will all come in perfect divine timing, and it'll feel right within you. Remember that Uranus is a sidestep. It's a shifting. We're moving up the ladder. And sometimes in order to get unstuck, we just need to move. We're not plants. We're not trees. But even this plant, I got this beautiful plant, and guess what? I picked it up and I moved it into this pot, because of a divine idea that I had. So plants actually can move. Trees actually can move if they wanted to. We all have the ability to move. And even if your root system can't move, which honestly it's good, you know, to have a root system that's stable and firm. Even if your root system can't move, your leaves can branch out and touch other things, right? So just remember that you cannot stay stagnant. If you stay stagnant, you will stay stuck. You will stay confused. You will stay miserable. Uranus is fun. Like, we like change around here. We like change. We like things being different. Paint your room a different color. Get a different car. Just new things coming into your life. It gives you new air to breathe, a new perspective to be, a new vibration to step into in order to evolve and grow in your own unique way, and then bring that out into the conscious collective energy. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get started on Uranus through the houses, starting with the first house, aka my house. I have Uranus in the first house, so I can speak from experience. My glasses are getting foggy again, y'all. It is hot. When you channel, it is hot, and I haven't even started yet. Uranus in the first house. Uranus in the first house. Your look will change. Your personality will change. Your vibration will change. And it cannot be helped, but it is seen by everybody. You may have a lot of identity crises, but again, like I told you, this is for the conscious collective. Think of yourself as a thread in the tapestry. And for you, Uranus in the first house, you have a thread that changes colors as it goes along. It's almost like I'm seeing a rainbow, like a spectrum, like from red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. Violet and white is the last. It's like almost we are the rainbow. I like to wear a lot of color. I like to wear a lot of jewelry. I like my makeup. I like it to be a little bit eclectic. I like it to be different. We dress differently. We like to stand out. And this is actually our role in society, because we are triggering, we are helping, we are allowing people to be themselves. Because I can be myself. You have permission to be yourself. You have no idea how powerful this is, Uranus in the first house, because we're allowing people to see the uniqueness that human beings can bring into the world. We cannot all be wearing black and white. We cannot all be standard. We cannot all want the same thing, dress the same way. We have individuality, and that's exactly what Uranus in the first house shows, is our own unique individuality. You will stand out in a room because you're dressed different, because your vibration is different. It's not just the clothes you wear. It's not just the jewelry. It is your literal aura. It is your vibration. I have been told time and time again, wow, when you walk into a room, you're so calm, and yet it's so loving, and like all these things. And me personally, I know that I have a really open heart chakra, so I allow people to feel my heart chakra, to feel safe within unconditional love. I know that that is personally my role, and that came through so much identity shifting, and it's not done yet. It's not done yet. I like to explore. I like to try different things. I literally just bought a wig for the first time in my life, and everybody in my life is like, why are you buying a wig? You have hair. And I'm just like, I just want to try something new. It's not that big of a deal, but people will think it's such a big deal for you changing your appearance because they see you as one way. But when you have Uranus in the first house, you're always changing. You're always shifting. You don't want to stay the same. You like certain things, but you always want to change it up. You always want to change up your appearance, how you look, your colors, your clothes. And that inspires people. We're inspiring to people. Like, wow, look at what she's wearing. Maybe I can wear something like that. Maybe I can put together something like that. And it's never going to be the same because nobody can match you. Nobody can be the same as you. As I said, Uranus is always shifting and changing. They don't know your next move. They don't know that next move now. All right? They don't know what you're about to do. I could have red hair today, blue hair tomorrow. You will never know until you know. That's Uranus in the first house. And also, like I said, receiving a lot of divine insight, quick ideas. If you're in my generation, then you have Uranus and Neptune conjunct together. So definitely watch that Neptune video. Don't play around now. These two conjunct is not a joke. This is, Neptune, the planet of illusion, coming in with Uranus, the planet of change and rebelliousness. So we confuse a lot of people. A lot of people are confused by us, but they don't need to comprehend us, right? They just need to see us. They just need to feel us, our aura, the energy that we give off, which is electric. You might have a hard time stopping speaking because you just get so excited. Like the excitability is very real with Uranus in the first house. And you might feel guilty, like depending on your other placements, you might feel like a little guilty for over speaking. But sometimes when you overspeak, especially when you're helping somebody out, you're speaking life, you're speaking wisdom, you're speaking divine insight into them. And they will walk away being like, oh, wow, I needed to hear that. I'm sure you've heard that a lot. Like people are like, wow, whatever you said, I needed to hear that. Even if you walk away, like, did I really say the right things? Yes, you did. Because you have Uranus in the first house, you're probably always going to say the right thing. It's just going to come off a little eccentric. That is my favorite word to define Uranus in the first house, or just Uranus in general, is eccentric. I love that word. But yes, the things that you say, the things that you do, the way that you dress, your style, your walk, your talk, it's all different. And it's changeable. It's constantly changing. And that can be exhausting for some people, but it's fun for us. Like, hey, I want to try something different. Like, period. Just remember that you're here to inspire. You don't have to force anybody to understand you. You don't have to force anybody to acknowledge you. Don't force anybody to do anything. All they have to do is see you, and it's done. What's done is done. The inspiration comes through just seeing you, because it's like your soul is expressed outward and your soul is constantly evolving. So when you express that in your first house, your physical appearance is always evolving, it's always changing, and it's beautiful. All right, Uranus in the second house Uranus. Hey, okay, money moves. Okay, money confusion. I'm feeling like y'all with the money. It's been up and down. It's been side to left. It's been all over the place. Your money and your self-worth and your value. This is what the second house represents. Because you need to realize that in order for you to receive money, you need to realize that you are the money. You are the value. Without you, there will be no income because you're needed to do the work, right? How you feel about yourself doing the work, how you feel about your value is changing with Uranus here. Your thread in the tapestry is very thick. I'm seeing, like, you know, if we're a tapestry of the conscious collective, your specific thread is very thick. I'm feeling like a real thick thread that's very important to, stabilize, to build structure. Uranus in the second house, surprisingly enough, is actually helping you build structure around your self-worth and your money. That's so interesting, because you would think Saturn, right? But because Uranus and Saturn are so tight, I feel like in order for you to grow and evolve and to get more money and to get more confidence and self-esteem, you need to change constantly. And you feel like the more you change, the more you evolve, the better your outcome and your income become. Because you just can't stay stagnant. If you just stay stuck, if you definitely cannot work one job. I don't know what your 10th house looking like or your 6th house looking like, but if you got Uranus in the second house, you cannot just stay at one job. That's boring as hell. Unless you're an entrepreneur and you decided to do those things. Like Uranus in the second house screams entrepreneurship, screams I am my own leader, screams like I got to do this on my own, because you're finding yourself. It's a feeling of finding yourself, like you were lost and you're lost in the confusion. Like I'm just wondering like what element or what zodiac sign you have Uranus in, but it will really heavily determine and dictate how you move in your life and what kind of jobs you have, what kind of things that you're bringing to the collective. Because again, this is your unique energy that you're bringing to the world. And the more that you grow, the more that you evolve is going to be better for your money, your income, and your self-esteem overall. Uranus in the third house. Immediately, I'm hearing multilingual. We got somebody who likes learning about languages. You in the tapestry of the collective, your thread is thin but many. Like I'm feeling like it's a spider web. Like you're casting out different kind of webs, right? The third house represents our thoughts, communication, how we think, how we want to express ourselves. Uranus here, you want to express yourself in many different ways. You like to pick up different languages. You like to pick up different accents. you're just interested in those things. Like, you're curious literally about the world. You really are curious about your surroundings. I feel like you might go out for walks all the time, and if you don't, that's definitely something to start doing, is going out for walks in your neighborhood, because your mind is constantly, oh my gosh, Uranus in the third, your mind is nonstop. Like, you are constantly thinking. So you need to go out into nature so that you can just like appreciate everything in your neighborhood. And the third house represents like places that we travel in our neighborhood specifically, whereas the ninth house is more like abroad. The third house is more of like short trips. So if you take more trips, you'll feel better. Uranus likes to change, so you probably just like to get up and go sometimes. Like, you just wake up in the morning, you're like, I want to go here, and you go. And I'm pretty sure people have been like, what are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. You need to go. You need to explore. You need to expand your mind constantly, because Uranus likes to shift and change and think of new ways to be in your own self. Because like what I'm hearing is like you're overwhelmed in your mind sometimes. Like, you can be really overwhelmed, but the overwhelm goes away when you step outside of your house and like you can just look at everything in your surroundings. It's something about taking walks outside in your neighborhood. Like, spirit is screaming that to me. Like, okay, I get it, they get it, you get it, go take a walk after this video, please. Because it's just something about exploring, and I feel like you're going to be picking up new information, picking up insights, picking up divine ideas just in your local neighborhood. And just really exploring and writing your thoughts down. Y'all definitely need to write these thoughts down. I have this notebook right here, little book of big ideas. I love this little notebook. I carry it with me, and when ideas come, write them down, because you definitely have a lot of insights coming in. You're definitely the type of person that spirit has asked to do quite a bit of mental work, and of like I see you on the computer, like typing, doing a lot of creative ideas, right? And don't forget to take breaks, because that can be really overwhelming if you burn yourself out on like just creating. And like I said in the beginning of the video, ideas can come, but you don't need to act upon them right away. And especially when you have Uranus in the third house, you're probably feeling more inclined to do these ideas right away. And some things, you know, like I said, if it feels good, you need to make sure it feels good and it doesn't feel like a pressure or a heaviness. You allow time to work for you. And I know third house people want it now, quick. But you need to allow time to work for you, and especially with your creative ideas that are coming from spirit, because you know, there's been something about you've been choosing quantity over quality. Spirit needs to remind you it's about the quality over the quantity. If you're rushing through these things and it's half-assed, it's not good for the collective, right? If you're trying to hold things together and your threads are like falling apart in the tapestry of life, then you need to rethink of what you're doing. Why are you rushing? Why are you pressuring yourself and then it's not a good outcome? Take time. Take your time and create something that's beautiful. More ideas will come to you. You are the idea chamber. Like, I just see like you as like this big pot, and spirit is like, throw it in there. Like, you'll never run out of ideas ever. So just take your time, live your life, and do each idea as the days come. And don't forget to take those walks. Taking walks. Uranus in the fourth house. Hey, fourth houser. How does it feel to be moving all the time? How does it feel to feel unsteady at home? Y'all, Uranus in the fourth house, this is your root system, this is your mother, this is your womb, this is your divine feminine energy, and Uranus is here shaking shit up. Your thread in the tapestry looks like yarn. I'm seeing like multiple threads like interwoven to create a nice thread. You have a lot of ancestral work that you're doing at this time with Uranus in the fourth house. There's a lot of, like I said, that sidestepping. You can't stay put or else you're going to stay stuck. You are the one who is helping your lineage sidestep and to move up the ladder. This can be a lot of pressure on you. I feel like a lot of y'all are really alone in this. So it's important for you to journal and like reach out to people who you can vent to. You definitely need to vent, because Uranus here in a very watery house, you have a lot of things that you're thinking about and they're ruminating and they're becoming emotions. You could have health problems. I'm seeing some of you have health problems simply because you don't have anybody to talk to, simply because you're not allowing those emotions to come out. What you're doing is very important maternal work. What you're doing is trying to build a foundation, but not really. Like, it's something about your foundation that needs to change. It's something about your home life that needs to be shooken up and moved. It doesn't mean that you're permanently going to be moving. Possibly in this lifetime, as long as Uranus stays in your fourth house, there could be this, you know, like random upheaval, random moving, things like that that happen to you in your life. But honestly, Uranus is saying like this is also that you can find a real true spiritual foundation, a real true spiritual home, that you feel a part of your community, because you're like a mother. You really are like a mother to your community, and you need to be respected more. You need to be nurtured more yourself and allow these ideas and these thoughts to come out. You need someone to talk to. Definitely. Anything else? So Uranus also is asking you to work with crystals. Specifically, I'm seeing a lot of clear quartz, like clear white crystals, moonstone, things like that, labradorite. Something about those crystals are going to help you in your life. And you know, especially when times get hard, I'm just seeing you with a lot of white crystals, selenite, things like that. If you can use those, they will assist you. Especially when you're moving, make sure to take your crystals with you, or even leave them behind, like bury them as a form of respect and like honoring of like, okay, I lived here for this time and now I'm moving on and I give thanks, kind of thing. Like, do your own ritual. But really, for Uranus in the fourth house, you are important in the conscious collective because you're helping remove those wounds from the feminine. And right now in this time, the feminine is extremely wounded and we're healing. So we definitely need you more than ever. Okie dokie artichokey, Uranus in the fifth house. Oh, the fifth house. Y'all be turning up. The fifth house, y'all have issues with consumption. Slow down. Oh, and I see a lot of y'all shaking your head already like, yeah, I gotta slow down. Listen, the fifth house is the house of pleasure, of fun, of excitement. This is where the sun likes to shine. This is where we get our energy, our creative, our passionate, our excitement, you know? Uranus is already pretty freaking excited. So for you to have this in your fifth house, you and your friends group, like y'all, either y'all be changing friends groups or friends will change on you. Ooh, whew. Friends will change on you. For you in the tapestry of life, I'm seeing a really dark thread. I'm seeing like almost like a navy blue black thread in the tapestry of the conscious collective. I think that you're creating a lot of depth, which is interesting because this is the house of the sun and I'm seeing dark colors. You're creating more depth though. You're creating more like trustworthy, sure, solid kind of relationships. Even though you like to change, you like to flirt, you like to change it up and be different, especially in your friends and your romantic life, I feel like what you're really searching for here is depth and sincerity. You're looking for sincerity. You're looking for truth, because, you know, a lot of people just think Leo is about like having a good time turning up, but Leo is the light, like, and as a light worker, it could be difficult and sometimes you fall into dark places. So don't forget about your fifth house Uranus whenever you are feeling low, or whenever you are feeling confused, or whenever your friends have stabbed you in the back, or whatever the case. Remember that you have this very unique perspective and that you're brilliant, you're a genius. I'm feeling jealousy can come up, you know, people just don't understand your vibe. They don't get you. They don't get you. It's kind of similar of Uranus in the first house. I'm feeling like you like to change up your clothes. You like to change your hair, your jewelry. You like to look different, especially when you're going out and about. And that's what brings in confidence, is looking different, is changing your look. So don't let anybody ever make you feel guilty about changing how you look, changing how you just up here and your personality in general, it's always going to be shifting because it's shifting to a higher consciousness. Remember that. Don't do things out of guilt. Don't do things out of judgment from others. I know that y'all, specifically in the 5th house, might have a problem with people pleasing or wanting to do things to conform for other people. And that's a shadow side, because literally Uranus is about non-conforming. You don't conform, right? And that's your right. That's your birthright. That's why you were born with this in the 5th house. You're not supposed to conform. You're an artist. You're a creative. You're supposed to do things differently. You're supposed to create really unique art. You're supposed to speak in a very unique way and be and present yourself in a very unique way. Don't let anybody make you feel ashamed of who you are or how you are, because you are different and you do stick out. And I feel like you be the life of the party. Like, you're the life of the party. Accept that. Accept that. And with the tapestry, again, like with the dark threads, it's not like a sad darkness, but it's more of like, you know, when you color in a picture and then you use black to outline everything, you're like the outline. And that's what makes things pop, is the outline of everything, is that black or that darkness around the light, in order to let it be seen and not be drowned out by all the other whites or all the other colors. The black is what helps to separate that. And I think that's who you embody. Yeah. Fun. Okie dokes. Uranus in the 6th house. House number 6. House number 6. Okay, this is the house of health. This is the house of our coworkers, pets. This is the house of our daily habits. This is the house that Virgo rules over. 6, Uranus. You like to try different like diets. You've probably gone through a couple health scares, like your health changed all of a sudden. I'm feeling, but you're getting DNA upgrades is what I'm hearing. Spirit is telling me like you're genuinely receiving DNA upgrades. So even if you do get sick and things like that, make sure that you're going to a holistic kind of health care professional. Chemicals and like prescriptions, things like that, they're not going to be healthy for you at this time, having Uranus in the 6th house. You need holistic measures. You need to work with more plants, working with a variety of different plants, different plant remedies like flower essences, tinctures, teas. All those things are going to be really important on your journey. When it comes to like your work and your work ethic, you are a very consistent worker. Like you have a lot of ideas that you can bring to the workplace, like a project manager is what I'm feeling. You have a lot of unique ideas that most people wouldn't think of. You also see things. Like I'm seeing that like you peep things. You're really quick to notice things in the workplace or like about other people. You're really quick to just peep things about people. Nobody can hide secrets from you. That's really interesting. Nobody can hide a secret from you. Nobody can hide like a concern from you, because it's like you just know. And I feel like it's that spiritual understanding. It's those spiritual guides that and those ideas that come to you very quickly, because you know the 6th house, when dealing with Virgo energy, it is about purity, it is about health. So you could peep, you know, health issues in other people. You could know when someone is actually being pure-hearted or when they're being malicious. You'll just get these ideas as well. And then for your daily routines, they do need to change. I know you probably have gotten frustrated like in the past about your routine and like how it's always changing, but your routine is changing so that you can find the best routine for you. Remember that Uranus is causing this change in order for you to be the highest version and in the highest timeline. So just remember that these little remedies that you're doing or these health things that you're doing, listen to your intuition and make sure that it does feel good and that it resonates. And the ideas that you get about your health, like trying this new diet, seeing a lot of different things about like keto or veganism or things like that, and it comes into your awareness, you can try it and not feel guilty for changing. Like change things up and don't ever let somebody make you feel guilty, because you know, again, Virgo energy, 6th house energy, that's purity. You're trying to get to your purest vibration, and that's admirable. People should be admiring you for that, not judging you because you keep switching. And you yourself, stop being so hard on yourself. Stop being so damn hard on yourself. You're doing these things in order to achieve the best outcome. Just remember that. All right, Uranus in the 7th house. We got the 7th house. Uranus in the house of relationships, Uranus in your DC. Wow. People definitely come to you for divine insight. They actually come to you for advice often, and they might not tell you like, oh, I'm here for advice, but they're here for your advice. You give really good advice. You give really inspirational advice. Like, you are a messenger of spirit here. I really feel like that. I know that the seventh house is all about, like love, romance, marriage. And of course it is, but I just wanted to remind you that in the tapestry of life, like, you're very unique and you really do hold things together for people. This is the house of Libra. This is the house of, those like justice and karma and things like that is what I'm feeling for you having Uranus here. You're setting things on the right course. You're making sure that things are adjusted and that things are in a better way for you to receive the relationship that you want, number one, but for yourself, the seventh house is just always about marriage and relationships, but what about you? Who are you in the relationship? And that's what Uranus wants to bring up as well, is who are you? Because this is about non-conforming. This is about rebelling. This is about, I don't want to get married. Who you the type to be like, I'm not going to get married. I'm not going to do this. You be in different relationships, very open relationships, like poly, different LGBTQ, like all that stuff. I'm feeling is coming from Uranus in the seventh house. You don't like to conform. You like to be different because you're shifting and you're assisting the consciousness, the collective consciousness, into thinking differently. And love is love. Ooh, you be the one to be like, love is love. Love is love. You're in your heart though. I feel like you're a very heart-centered person and you just want to give love to people, like all people. And you don't want to conform to society. You don't want to conform even to the system, because the seventh house can represent legal things and like the law. You definitely rebel against that shit. If you get a ticket, you're like in the garbage. You don't really like to conform, even though Uranus might like throw things at you. It's just like, it's almost like a test to see like, will you conform? Or will you choose a different path? Will you be different? Will you evolve? Will you sidestep? Will you grow? Or are you going to stay stuck in the same routines and the same habits that everybody else wants you to be stuck in, right? So when it comes to marriage, when it comes to relationships, allow yourself to flow, allow yourself to change, allow yourself to love unconditionally. Like, y'all are really like lovers and loving everybody, not just the standard way of loving, right? That's really nice. Like, my heart feels full. All right, so now we're going into Uranus in the 8th house. The 8th house. The 8th house always be scaring me, so let me just prepare myself. Let me just prep really quick for the 8th house. All right, Uranus in the 8th house. This is the house of the psyche. This is the house that Scorpio rules over. This is the house of depth. This is the house of like inner knowing for you. You have a very deep inner knowing. When you have Uranus in the 8th house, your inner knowing is unmatched. Can't nobody get nothing against you. Can't nobody blind you. Can't nobody blindside you. Can't nobody tell you something that's a lie and pretend that it's the truth. No. No. 8th house already can see through a lot, but you having Uranus here, that lightning, you be striking motherfuckers down too. You have a sassy little mouth. Like, you don't take crap from anybody. I love that. Like, you are strong, powerful. I see you as like in the tapestry of the conscious collective, like you are like the base. You're the base so that people can grow. But like, in order for the base to be a base, it has to be solid. It has to be true. It has to be grounded in that true knowing, in that abundance. Like, this is the house of wealth as well. The 8th house is the house of wealth, money. It's the polar opposite of the second. So you found your value. You found your truth. And now you're living it. And when people try to do anything to undercut you, to embarrass you, to tell you that this isn't right, oh no, you're like, you just look at them like, stop. Y'all are savage. Like, I really feel this. Like, Uranus in the 8th house, y'all are savage. And y'all are silly doing it because, you know, Uranus is like, it's kind of lighthearted. And in the 8th house, you just need that light. You know, you need that lightning to come through in the 8th house for you. Like, I feel like y'all are funny people. Like, y'all are comedy. You have a unique sense of humor. You've seen a lot of pain in your life, too. You've seen a lot of pain and hardship and people who need healing. You understand like that. I think that's why you're the base. And like you genuinely understand what people are going through and what humanity has gone through on an emotional level, right? Because this is a water house. So when you have Uranus in a watery house, you need to discover your emotions. You have deep emotional depth, especially since Uranus is here guiding you spiritually. You'll have a lot of ideas that will take a while to actually come to fruition. So you definitely need to take your time when you have ideas that come through, because your ideas will be something that will last for a very long time once they're finally put out for the conscious collective to enjoy. Don't ever sleep on your intuition. Don't ever sleep on your creative ideas. You're very creative and you're a leader. You're a very powerful leader. Like I said, nobody can tell you nothing. Like, you just know, like, you probably knew the words coming out my mouth before I said them. Golly, real good. Like, I feel good. This is the first 8th house planet right now that feels light, right? Like, it feels better to have this here. And yes, you'll have a lot of changes, especially in your psyche, but you are really evolving to become a master is what I'm hearing. You're evolving to become more mature. You will not take these little childish games anymore that society has just run over and over, and you won't play with people, you know, like, you're not going to sit around and play around with people. You want to tell people the truth. You want to get to the truth of the matter. You want to get to the meat of it all. And that's why you're respected. That's why you should consider yourself as a highly respectable person, because you don't have time to just play these games. You actually have seen so much and felt so much that it's time for you now to sidestep and evolve into a higher consciousness, a higher power, like a really like dark, feminine, good vibes energy. Like, just again with the look, it's something about the look, your eyes, like it's something about when you look at people, they are shook. They're just like, whoa, I'm not gonna mess with that person. Like, no, don't mess with me. Don't mess with me. Ooh, my foot's falling asleep. So now we are shifting onto Uranus in the 9th house. Is this 9? Oh, in the 9th house. Uranus in the 9th house. What's good, y'all? The jovialness. I just feel like I got this image of y'all are the priest or the pastor that everybody just loves to be around. People love to be around your energy. Your energy is unmatched. Wow, you have this huge aura of light around you. It's like a golden aura of light. Uranus in the 9th house. No matter where you go, you're protected. You're divinely guided. And especially when you're traveling abroad and you're like, oh, you know, like, what do I do? Where do I go? The idea will come to you immediately. Literally, like, oh, go here. Talk to this person. Let's go here. I feel like being here. Like, all of these things will come to you perfectly. Especially if you're listening to your intuition and your divine guidance, it's very important for you to know that you are surrounded by this beautiful golden light. Like, y'all have this golden aura. And it just feels like almost, not quite, right? Because this is why you're here on earth, almost ascended master type of vibes. Very mature, very knowing. You still have that childlike energy within you because this is Sagittarius, you know, in the 9th house. So Sagittarius, Jupiter, we like to be jovial. We like to be open, smiling. Y'all have a very beautiful smile and it's just bright. Even if you have no teeth, I don't know, something about your smile is just like... It's something about your eyes too. Y'all have this light in your eyes, like a really bright light. I'm seeing orange, just like lots of orange. In the tapestry of the conscious collective, I see you as the color orange and yellow, like the highlights. You know, if let's say if everything's like black, we need the orange and yellow to like see things, right? You're like the highlight in the conscious collective tapestry. Your role here is to bring that light and to bring that optimism and that jovialness to people randomly. as you go around your day. And I'm feeling some of you are kind of tired, some of you are kind of exhausted. Don't forget to rest. You're not just here to be abused by other people and to be used, because some of y'all are allowing yourselves to be used and like abused by your community and by other people because your light is so bright. But Spirit is reminding you that in order to remain the pure light and the love that you are, you cannot overextend yourself, and you cannot just allow people to keep sapping your energy. That's not love. That's not God. That's not helping anybody, right? Even though you think you're helping somebody, they need to help themselves at some point. Correct? Correct. They need to help themselves at some point. You are just that light that's encouraging. Remember that you're the encouraging one. You don't need to do things for people. You just need to encourage and inspire them. And that will be enough. And you'll see throughout time, Uranus is helping you evolve and like shift in your encouraging words. Before you would have been like, oh yeah, good job. But now you can actually say less and make a bigger impact. So especially with your wording and your words, and especially as you travel, you're going to recognize and see the different components of the world and bring them together inside of yourself so that you can reflect that out and assist the conscious collectiveness in a more mature, like again, I'm feeling like that ascended master, that golden light. Like you've really evolved. You've gone through a lot, especially coming out of the 8th house. You've gone through a lot. So this is something that's meant to be for you. Just don't overextend yourself and give yourself some time to be away from people, to be in your own energy, your own space. When you travel alone. You don't always have to talk to everybody. Spirit's gonna guide you to talk to people, but you can even talk back to Spirit and be like, listen, I'm trying to have a chill day today. All right, don't introduce me to nobody new today, please, Spirit. And Spirit be like, all right, hey, no problem. Okay, except for that one person over there. So just work with Spirit instead of feeling so depleted. I feel like a lot of y'all are depleted for some reason. So make sure to just bring that in, bring it back, call back your energy from other people, call it back and purify it. Because again, you don't need to do the work for people. You just need to encourage them to make steps on their own. 3 more houses, 3 more houses. Okay, y'all, the 10th house, the 10th house, the 10th house with Uranus. Tell me you don't like working without telling me you don't like working. Tell me you don't like having a 9-to-5 job without telling me you don't like having it. Just say I got Uranus in the 10th and that's all you need to say, because I hear major entrepreneur, kind of like the 3rd house energy, major entrepreneur or the 2nd house. Someone who likes to work on their own terms, in their own way, on their own time. You cannot listen to nobody. There is no boss in your life. You are the boss. If someone says, oh, I'm the boss, you just look at them like, you're the boss? LOL, bye. You know, like you don't have the capacity, honestly, to be sitting at a 9-to-5 job. You are very important in the web, in the tapestry of the conscious collective. 10 is the highest point of the birth chart. It's what everybody can see. It's Capricorn energy. You've climbed up this mountain. You didn't climb up the mountain just to be sitting at a corporate job, rusting and disintegrating and being sad. You like to work. That's important for you. Like you like to work, you like to create, you like to expand and have different ambitions, but nobody can be in charge of you. You are in charge of yourself because you're guided by Spirit. With having Uranus in the 10th house, you receive these divine ideas and they're very structured. I'm hearing and seeing that like your ideas are actually very structured that come in, and that you specifically have to allow time to work for you and not against you. You cannot put a whole bunch of pressure on yourself. Because Spirit is asking you to have quality over quantity. Whatever you're putting out needs to be of quality, because it is going to go out and help and assist the collective, right? If somebody builds a bridge and they half-ass it and millions of people are trying to cross this bridge, the bridge is going to break, and then the rest of us can't get over because you decided to rush the project. This huge project, like you all have really big ambitions. You all have a really big purpose. I'm almost seeing like you know, in the tapestry of the collective, like, y'all are the ones holding that ish together. Like, we need pins to hold the whole tapestry together. Y'all are the pins that hold everybody else together. So if you're overextending yourself, if you're exhausting yourself, if you're working at a job that you hate, all those things are going to deplete you, and it's not right. Uranus is going to change you and snap you out of that and be like, nah, like, if you lose your job all of a sudden, or if you lose this, like, you're not losing anything. You're gaining, because you're being put in a position where you can evolve your spirit and your soul's purpose. Not to play these human games. You're not here to play with these humans. Like, you're actually an alien. You're actually here to bring down a lot of galactic information is also what I'm hearing. Galactic, the different energies in space like to work for you, with you, and things like that. You might get visited when you sleep. You might have a lot of prophetic dreams that are important, because again, you are this very important figure in the world. Like, you really are. It's the top. People are seeing you. What are they seeing? They're seeing somebody who loves to be unique, who loves to be different. You like to dress different, you like to talk different, you like to explore different careers. And when people try to make you feel bad about that, I feel like some of you have conformed, but you're miserable because you're not supposed to conform. You're meant to create a whole legacy with Uranus, like a legacy with the planet of rebelliousness. You're meant to rebel. You're meant to evolve us as a collective, as a species. You got big work to do. So maybe that is why you are settling, because you know that it's such big work that you have to do for your soul. But this video is a reminder to get up and get out of that comfort zone, because Uranus doesn't play with comfort zones. Your soul's evolution and constant change is the comfort zone. And you need to embrace that and accept that this isn't just about you. It's not just about you. Like, you're doing this for all of us, for me. Okay, so please focus and work on your passions, not somebody else's passions, not somebody else's projects, your passions, because those ideas came to you from God, specifically from Spirit into you for you to manifest. Take your time, but build quality things and allow us to expand and be. I mean, the 10th house is Saturn ruled. Like, this is the perfect combination right here. Like, you're bringing this into reality. So stop playing and start working on what's true. Start working on what's important, which is your soul's mission. You only have one life here right now. You came here for a reason right now. What is that reason? Stop disrespecting yourself. Be for real. Stop disrespecting your soul. Like, I'm gonna get on y'all. Like, let me move to the other house. Let me get to the other. All right, Uranus in the 11th house. What's up? The 11th house. Muy importante. So important. I know that the 10th house, I went in on the 10th house, y'all. Don't even click back to watch that, because I might have left them crying. But listen up, with the 11th house, this is the house quite literally of Aquarius. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. So this is an optimal house for Uranus to be in, because you can see clearly what the conscious collective needs. And the thing about this, though, it's a little bit different from the 10th house, because, you know, the 10th house actually has to like do some work and like be nitty gritty, but y'all are more like, I'm seeing you as like eagles. I'm seeing you as birds. You're flying over and you're seeing, like, you're taking notes. I'm also seeing you as like a note keeper. Like, it's something about you seeing what needs to be done, right? And you don't necessarily have to do the groundwork like the earth houses might have to do, but it's more important for you to, what is it? You're a record keeper. There we go. I was like, what is this? You're a record keeper. So you are recording how the conscious collective is evolving. You're recording how things are going. You're reporting back. Like, today on earth, right? That's kind of the vibes that I'm feeling And I feel like y'all maybe be pressuring yourselves to like do things and like start different groups. And if you want to, if it feels right to you, if you get the idea to start groups, you're very good at starting groups, very good at knowing what groups to start and like what is needed in the group, what kind of healing is needed. You're definitely a healer. You're definitely somebody who can feel the shifting energies of the earth and of the planet, and you can see it reflected in the collective and in like your friends or your groups and things like that. You're very aware. You're just very aware, and that's why you're keeping records. And it's just such an interesting energy because it's unlike any other house. And this is the house where Uranus thrives, right? But for you, it's almost like there's no work required. You're just keeping record, like what's happening, how are we evolving, what do we need, things like that. And you're keeping notes, and the spirit is talking to you and collaborating with you on like what needs to be done. So I think this is a beautiful place to have Uranus. You're always going to be changing different groups, hopping in and out of different groups, starting different groups. Allow yourself to do that, because I think that these groups are needed so that the people who need to be together can come together and create better, right? So you're a huge catalyst in that, in creating those things for people to come together, because it's like, you know, let's group all the cows together, let's group all the chickens together, and then they can make their own cow and chicken art, you know, something like that. It's very important for you to have this overview. And again, I'm just getting the view of a bird. You're flying over everybody, and you're seeing what's going on and who needs to be where and what needs to do what. Very interesting energy, and I really like that. I really, really like that for you. Must be nice, must be chill. You're just out here relaxing and keeping records. And don't pressure yourself to like fit into do not pressure yourself to fit into these groups. I need to remind you, you are the record keeper. You create the groups. You do not need to be a part of every single group. You do not need to be a leader of every single group. You will not fit into every single group, but you do need to create them for others, if that makes sense. Okay, the last house, the 12th house. The 12th house, Uranus in the 12th house. I just get so excited because I'm worn out from all these other houses, y'all. The 12th house, having Uranus here, the dreamer, the visionary. You have a vision. Yes. Oh, Uranus in the 12th house. Now, I really like the 12th house because the 12th house is the house of the subconscious, the intuition, sleeping, dreaming. And honestly, I see the 12th house as resting. You don't need to do anything. You and the 11th house are so chill. Like, y'all really don't need to do anything with Uranus here. Uranus is already working in your favor. This is the house of the spiritual guides, is how I feel like your spiritual guides are taking care of everything. So I feel like when it's the 12th house, the last house, the house of wisdom, you are now finally integrating these things into your lifestyle. You're now integrating these things into your mind. Like, you talk differently. Like, you genuinely have like a different speech, and you genuinely have like a different way of thinking, because Uranus is in the 12th house, which is again our subconscious. But you have this feeling of, you're so light, like you are so loved, like unconditional love is vibrating. Like, you, 12th house and the 9th house, y'all are like the ascended masters. And I feel like maybe this could be the ascended master part, because the 9th house was like almost there, but not quite. I see a golden light around the 9th house, but for you, I see a violet light, a beautiful purple, violet, indigo light. And that's your aura, and like, you don't need to do anything. I feel like you're healing. Like, in the tapestry of the collective, I feel like when you touch the threads will come back together. Like, the threads are fixed. You're a fixer. Just by being, just by your aura, you're fixing, you're helping, you're evolving, you're raising the frequency of others around you, literally without having to do anything, just your presence. I need you to remember that, and like to really know that, because you might have felt pressured to do certain things and be like that, blah, but Spirit is showing me like you are just sitting in a room and you are healing others. Like, your vibration is so powerful. You're just sitting and you're healing people. Okay, but wait, this is kind of fun because Uranus transited into my 12th house, and this does make a lot of sense. Like, you don't need to put so much pressure on yourself to be a part of any group. You've been part of the groups, and it's almost like you're not in the world anymore. It's almost like you have gone outside of Earth, right? And you're just working with the spirits now. And that's beautiful. Like, it's almost as if you are disconnected even though you're here. Because you're so connected to your crown chakra, your ethereal side, that you bring in healing with ease, and it doesn't need any extra work. You're just a natural healer by being. Like, I'm telling you, you don't need to say a word. Of course, you're going to be speaking life into people. Like, if you do decide to speak, you're going to be speaking directly to people's spirit, to their soul, and to their subconscious, so that they can integrate that and reflect that in their outer reality. But truthfully, it's your vibe, it's your energy, it's how you carry yourself. Like, knowing that you're connected to spirit, you walk and you talk a different way. You are whole, you are free. It's a freedom that you might feel, even though, you know, on Earth you might feel pressured to stay and to be grounded and do all this, but you're meant to be kind of like up there, ascended, and you don't have to record keep like the 11th house. You've seen it all. Like, it's the 12th house. It's the end. You've seen it all. You're closing chapters for people. You're allowing them to evolve. You're allowing people to rest. You're allowing yourself to rest. A lot of rest. Because with Uranus, it's about unsettling and unresting and being crazy and chaotic, you know? But the 12th house here, I'm just feeling it's so serene. Just relax. Just allow spirit to, you know, come through, because it's going both ways this time. It's not just spirit talking to you. It's you talking to spirit. The 11th and the 12th house, like, y'all are directly talking to spirit. So that's incredibly powerful, and you need to just be more gentle with yourself. Be gentle. There's not going to be any more, you know, like, crazy changes in your life. All the changes in your life are going to lead you to the highest vibration, the highest timeline that you've been begging for, that you've been wanting, that you've been desiring for so long. Especially if you've been born with this, you have to allow divine time to work for you and not against you. If you want all these things, know that they're coming to fruition in their own time, and that's why you are buddy with spirit, because spirit knows all of your dreams, all of your thoughts, all of your wants and desires, and you honestly don't even have to say anything, because all these ideas came from spirit in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all are home free. So I love that so much for y'all in the 12th house. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Please, again, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace, beloved. Bye.